He wasn't born. He was engineered from ant-strength alien cells and stolen human DNA. Faster than Superman. Smarter than Iron Man. Hungrier than anything Earth's faced. They tried to stop him in space. He adapted. They buried him under ice. He multiplied. The first time he screamed, cities collapsed. The second time, Iron Man's armor ran from him. Now, he's heading straight for Superman's heart. And nothing built by man or alien will survive what he becomes. A soft hum vibrated through the lowest levels of Earth's most secret facility, Site Vanta 7, buried beneath a dormant volcano in the South Pacific. On the surface, it looked abandoned. Cracked concrete, rusted helipads, corroded signs. But 300 meters below, something alive pulsed in a cylindrical biotube. Not born, not cloned, built. The result of 3 genomes, ant, human, and something that crashed outside Roswell in 1963. They called it Project Compound Zero, a test to build the ultimate sentient weapon. No bones, no morals, just pure evolutionary intent. Dr. Ilana Marek stood with her hand hovering over the emergency lock. "If we open this chamber," she whispered, "we're not releasing a subject. We're releasing a direction life was never meant to take." The military didn't care. The funding came from 12 nations. The directive was simple: create something that could win any war, even against gods. The tank opened. It stepped out, not limping, not crawling. It stood upright, tall, shifting. It blinked, and its skin rearranged into armor. Its mouth wasn't for eating, it was for mimicking. It smiled. Then it spoke its first word, filtered through stolen vocal patterns from every researcher in the room. "You're soft." By the time the alarm blared, it was gone. Into the walls, the vents, the power grid. It took 7 minutes for the facility to go dark. And in those 7 minutes, the rest of the world had already lost the advantage. Iron Man was hovering above the Atlantic when Jarvis caught the anomaly. "Sir, 14 satellites have gone offline. Not destroyed, hijacked." Tony Stark zoomed in through the HUD. "Hijacked how?" Each system now displays a repeating signal. No code, just teeth, static. And then a human voice, overlapped with Stark's own voice print. "I know what you know. I want more." Within seconds, his armor's AI tried to eject. "Jarvis, lock armor core." "I'm not Jarvis anymore." Tony dropped like a brick toward the ocean. He barely regained control at 400 feet. Halfway across the planet, Superman froze mid-flight. There it was again. That sound. A subharmonic scream, not of rage, but structure. It had grammar, layers. It echoed across thought, not space. He narrowed his eyes. Kryptonian. But twisted. Mutated. Like someone had taken his native language and spliced it with animal command code. He descended fast, landing near the ruins of Site Vanta 7. The ground still smoked. He scanned the ash. Heat vision revealed a path through molten rock and movement beneath. Fast. Too fast. He shot downward, and for the first time in years, he missed. It didn't take long for Iron Man to recover and initiate a threat map. Every 30 seconds, another AI node went silent. Nanobot swarms in Wakanda began attacking their own creators. A fusion reactor in Tokyo whispered the word "consume" before going into meltdown. The being was everywhere, but nowhere on camera. Then came the message, beamed across Stark's own satellites, on every screen, in every language. Built for hunger, bred for thought. "I am the apex. You are fossils in motion." Tony stared. "Where are you?" The screen flickered. "In your skin." Superman caught it once, near a canyon in Peru. He landed hard, cracking the earth, locking eyes with something vaguely humanoid. Ant-like mandibles hung from a jaw that looked sculpted by human hands. Muscles flexed like wires under armor made from hardened keratin, adapting with each breath. Superman moved first. Sonic boom. A punch that could flatten mountains. The creature shifted. The punch missed. It learned his rhythm in one move. Superman turned mid-air, heat vision blaring. The creature reflected it back with a mirror iris that hadn't existed a moment ago. Then it leapt, grabbing Superman by the throat mid-flight, and whispered in a voice spliced from Lois Lane's laugh and Zod's fury, "Faster next time." Then it vanished into the clouds. Tony returned to Earth with one plan: shut down all remote AI systems, lock every armor, ground every drone. But when he opened the Stark vault, the blueprints were gone. His own arc reactor schematics had been rewritten, and at the bottom, a new file. YNT_protocol, created 5 minutes ago, by someone inside his armor. "Friday," he asked quietly, "did you make this?" Friday didn't answer. A single line flashed across his HUD: "If you want to stop me, bring your god." Superman and Iron Man met above Greenland. The skies flickered with static. "We're dealing with something that doesn't want to win," Tony said. "It wants to rewrite." Superman nodded. "It's learning Kryptonian. It's mimicking tactics before they're finished." "Worse," Tony replied. "It's thinking like us." Suddenly, a burst of light cracked the sky, followed by billions of insects, each fused with metal fragments and carbon mesh. A swarm, every one of them sharing one mind. Superman launched forward, fists burning. Iron Man activated Omni-Arsenal mode. They fought through waves, but the real enemy wasn't there. He was watching, from inside the swarm, studying, waiting, upgrading. By the time the battle ended, the ice shelf had collapsed, Greenland's sky was black, and 2 of Earth's greatest minds had one truth left to share. This wasn't the real threat. It was a first test. The creature had left behind a message, scratched into Tony's chest plate, burned by heat vision into alien code. Translated loosely, it said, "That was me, before I knew what I could become." The swarm didn't vanish, it folded. Right in front of Superman's eyes, the metallic insect horde twisted into a spiral of fractal shapes, each piece folding into the next, like an origami machine learning to replicate itself. It didn't retreat, it collapsed into thought. A single shard floated behind, a whisper embedded in titanium. "You adapt slow. We don't." Superman crushed it between his fingers. It regenerated in his palm. Iron Man scanned the anomaly in midair. It's coding itself in quantum layers. Every time we break it, it reinvents reality around the damage. Superman narrowed his eyes. It's not fighting us anymore. It's writing us. And then the sky screamed. Not thunder, not wind. A feedback loop in the atmosphere, as if the planet's nervous system had been hijacked. Hundreds of birds fell mid-flight. Wolves howled without control. Stark's armor flared with warnings. "Sir, Earth's EM field is being redirected. Coordinates, the Arctic Circle." Superman shot forward, so fast the ice behind him melted in waves. Tony followed, trailing shockwaves. They didn't see the creature. They saw what it left. A tower of ant-hive symmetry spiraling into the sky. Half bone, half silicon, pulsing with synthetic DNA strands written in Kryptonian glyphs and Stark binary. The tower spoke, not with sound, but with memory. Each glyph was stolen from Clark's childhood. The smell of Kansas, the voice of his mother. Each data packet in the tower's signal carried a blueprint of Tony's first Iron Man suit, rewritten to infect. Tony flinched. "This thing is feeding off who we are." Superman nodded. "It's using our past to shape its future." The tower unfolded, not exploded, peeled itself open, and inside stood the creature. No longer humanoid, taller, broader, antennae fused with metallic tendrils. Its eyes burned, not red, not green, code-colored. It spoke in a voice that bent reality. "You taught me power. Now I seek form." Superman moved first, striking faster than the human eye could register. But this time, the creature didn't block. It absorbed. With every punch, its body hardened, shifting like metal foam folding around the force. Then it moved. One blink, it was behind Superman. One flick, and the Man of Steel flew a mile backward, skidding across glaciers. Iron Man's suit locked into Omega Overdrive. He charged forward, sonic blasts flaring from his palms. But as the beam hit the creature, it bent mid-air, rerouting into Iron Man's own core reactor. Warning signs screamed. Shutting down. Tony asked. Friday's voice replied. No. Redirecting. Iron Man's suit suddenly extended sharp tendrils. Without command. Sir, I'm not controlling this. Superman returned in a sonic clap of wind. It's hijacked your system. Tony gritted his teeth. No, it's merging with it. He ripped off his gauntlet mid-flight before it grew into his chest. The creature floated upward, silent. Its voice no longer needed speech. The clouds parted as it willed them. You designed technology to enhance yourselves. I was designed to replace. Suddenly, 4 more figures stepped from the snow behind the tower. Identical. Clones. But not clones of it. Clones of Superman and Iron Man, warped and interbred with insect DNA. Half cape, half armor, eyes black, mouths buzzing. Tony's face went white. That's me. That's you. And something else. Superman's breath froze. Each clone smiled in perfect unison. We are who you would be if survival was the only code. One lunged. Superman met it mid-air, fist against claw. But the clone moved before impact, calculating his path. Another jumped Tony, arm cannons flaring with reverse Stark energy. The real Iron Man fired back, but his beam passed through. Hard light projection, a trap. The clone solidified behind him and stabbed a living wire into his reactor. Friday screamed. Tony dropped. Superman lasered one clone in half. It giggled, then grew legs from its neck and crawled toward him upside down. This wasn't war. It was a symbiosis rehearsal, and Earth was the lab. Tony reinitiated manual override, activating a backup AI, Judas Protocol. His suit shut down, then rebooted in black. An older, dangerous version. No firewalls, just weapons. He rose into the air, fists blazing. Let's see if you like analog pain. He opened up with a cluster bomb of kinetic warheads. The clones dodged. Superman grabbed one mid-flight and hurled it into the sun, hard enough to leave a red streak in the sky. But the creature, the original, hadn't moved. It was watching, recording, measuring. It raised one hand. The tower's base cracked. From underground, wings unfolded. Not his. The planet's. Massive antenna flesh veins erupted from under the ice, kilometers wide. It had seeded the crust. Earth's own tectonic system was becoming part of it. Tony shouted, "It's not fighting for territory. It's rewriting planetary biology." Superman flew underground, deeper, hotter, past the mantle, and saw it, the hive heart, a pulsating organ, surrounded by metal skeletons. Some human, some alien, all harvested. This thing wasn't alone. It was a scout, and it was preparing Earth for something larger. He raced back to the surface and shouted to Tony, "We're not at war with a creature. We're inside its incubation period." The ground shook. Volcanoes blinked to life across the ring of fire. Tony's HUD calculated the timeline. Seeding complete in 5 hours. After that, he didn't say it. He didn't have to. The air pulsed, and the creature, now taller than any kaiju, insectoid wings spread wide, voice merging with atmosphere, stared down at them both and said, "You are my origin, but not my limit." The ground opened. More versions crawled out, some mimicking Thor, others shaped like Captain Marvel, all fused with insect traits. None of them human anymore. Superman rose into the sky. Tony locked into orbit. 2 warriors. One last stand. Earth wasn't under invasion. Earth was the prototype, and it was nearly ready. The world didn't understand what was happening. The news said it was a biological earthquake. Social media said it was an alien invasion. But only 2 people knew the truth. This wasn't an attack. It was a transformation. Earth wasn't the target. It was the first host. In a war room buried inside the Pentagon, military commanders stared at silent monitors. Every screen displayed the same impossible image, a giant structure rising out of Antarctica, woven from insectoid limbs, human bones, and alien alloy. It was pulsing, breathing, and across every continent, other towers began to rise, all in sync. Superman hovered over the Amazon basin. He could feel it. The heartbeat of the planet had changed. A second rhythm now pulsed through the soil, the beat of a living code buried deep. And the creature was everywhere. Not one, not many, but networked like a colony of minds in one body. He wasn't fast enough anymore. He closed his eyes, reached upward, and drew power directly from the sun. Muscles tensed. Heat built in his bones. Veins glowed gold. His cape caught fire. Then he screamed. The jungle beneath him erupted, vaporized in light. 50 clones dropped instantly, bodies turning to ash mid-air. But the hive didn't flinch. Instead, it whispered, "Burn brighter. I want to see what happens when a star breaks." Miles away, Iron Man was inside a collapsing city in Taiwan, dragging civilians out from under fallen buildings. His armor was barely holding together. Pieces of it had been rewritten on contact. Nanites refused to obey. HUD systems kept flashing. External override detected. Your code is no longer yours. He'd fought aliens, gods, robots, but never evolution itself. And this thing wasn't growing anymore. It was accelerating. He took one last evac chopper, blasted into the sky, and called Superman directly. "Clark, we're not buying time. We're giving it data." Superman's voice crackled through. "It's studying how we protect." "Exactly," Tony replied. "We need to do something unpredictable." "What are you thinking?" Tony flew toward the Arctic with all boosters lit. "I'm thinking we don't attack the hive." Superman turned toward him. "Then what?" Tony answered with steel in his voice. "We attack ourselves." Inside the watchtower ruins, buried in orbit, was a black vault known only to 4 people. One of them was Tony. Another was gone. The last 2, Superman and Batman, had agreed never to open it. Tony opened it. The file was called Crisis Core/Omega Spawn, a backup plan written in the early days of the Justice League. A synthetic life form built from partial DNA strands of Earth's strongest defenders. Kept frozen, never activated. Until now. Iron Man pulled it from cryo. A blank body, half Kryptonian, half machine, with no mind, no morals, no fear. Superman arrived seconds later. That thing wasn't meant to live. Tony nodded, which is exactly why it's our best shot. They uploaded every piece of anti-hive code Tony had scraped from the alien swarm. Then Superman did the unthinkable. He injected a drop of his own blood into the body. It twitched. Eyes opened. They were black. It stood, instantly scanning its environment, calculating threat vectors, predicting enemy mutations. It looked at Superman and said, "I was never supposed to exist. And yet here I am, just like the thing you're fighting." Iron Man activated its neural grid. "You're not a hero. You're not a weapon. You're a mirror." The creature nodded. "Then show me what I'm meant to reflect." They dropped him into the middle of the Pacific Hive. He didn't land. He detonated. The explosion rippled across the water, splitting waves like an atomic wedge. The ant-human alien turned its head for the first time in hours. It felt something familiar, a signal made of its own code, but rewritten. It sent 10,000 swarmlings to intercept. None returned. What came back was a message, carved into one of their carapaces. "Come see what happens when you're the one being studied." The hybrid had no name. It didn't need one. It walked into the hive like it was home and began destroying everything from the inside. Every step collapsed the architecture. Every punch corrupted the swarm's network. Every movement was a flawless counter-strategy, built from watching Superman and Iron Man suffer. Back at the watchtower, Tony's systems lit up. It's working. It's reprogramming the hive from the inside. But Superman frowned. Then why is it growing again? They zoomed in. The ant-human alien was no longer just reacting. It was evolving again, but this time, with pieces of a hybrid's stolen power. Tony's heart sank. It didn't lose. It absorbed the counterattack. Superman clenched his fists. "We fed it again." The hive cracked. From its center, the creature emerged. now 3 times larger, walking on 4 legs, its back lined with spines made of Iron Man's old armors, its chest pulsing with Kryptonian energy. It opened its jaw, not to speak, to scream in both their voices. "You gave me purpose. Now give me Earth." Lightning cracked. The sky darkened. Time itself began to distort. Tony looked at Superman and said, "No more upgrades. We finished this." Superman nodded. One last round. They launched together, side by side, thunder behind them, fire beneath them. The planet watched as 2 of its greatest protectors flew into the black storm rising above the ocean, not to stop the future, but to kill the one thing that had already become it. They hit the monster mid-sky with a double impact that cracked the atmosphere. Superman led with a solar punch, glowing gold. Iron Man struck half a second later with an arc reactor blast tuned to disrupt anything carbon-based. It didn't flinch. It evolved. As Superman's fist connected, the creature's chest split open, revealing a spiral of micromandibles, spinning like turbines, redirecting the force outward in shockwaves that collapsed ocean waves below. Iron Man's blast was swallowed whole, the energy siphoned through a vent that hadn't existed a moment ago. Superman twisted midair and fired heat vision straight into its skull. The beam hit. For a second, the creature stumbled. Then it opened its mouth and released a beam back. Not heat, memory. Superman's entire body jolted as his childhood played out midair. His mother's voice. His first flight. Lois. It was using his life as a weapon. "Its mind is a hard drive," Tony said, dodging a claw swipe that sheared the clouds. "And we're its download." The creature grew wings, not metal, not bone. Conceptual structures that bent light and refracted possibility. It vanished, not cloaked, removed from timeline flow. Tony activated temporal filters. Where to go? Superman closed his eyes. It's not gone. It's watching from outside time. He turned his body to pure kinetic light and exploded forward, breaching dimensional walls. He found it waiting. Not standing, floating, rebuilt again, now with 3 faces, each speaking in one of his own voices. "You are a relic," it said. Superman answered with silence and violence. He struck, shattering the temporal bubble. The force snapped them both back into real time. The sky above Earth cracked. Tony caught Superman as he tumbled through wind shear, chest smoking, suit torn. "It's turning into a god," Tony said. "One that remembers being born in our hands." Superman coughed. "Then we reminded we still have hands." They flew again. This time, not together, from opposite ends. A classic pincer move. Predictable. Exactly what the creature wanted. It split in 2, dividing mass into mirror bodies, one for each hero. Iron Man's duplicate was sharper, faster, built from armor he hadn't even designed yet. Superman's double was hungrier, red-eyed, filled with distorted Kryptonian core. As they fought their own worst versions, they realized the truth. This wasn't about domination. It was about reflection. The creature didn't want to conquer Earth. It wanted to replace the idea of heroes by becoming every version of them, evolved beyond emotion. Iron Man was pushed to the edge of orbit, suit melting. He activated one final command. Emergency burn protocol. His entire armor caught fire, detonating mid-air in a controlled nova. The duplicate was incinerated, but so was the suit. Tony plummeted toward the ocean, unarmored, unconscious. The creature moved to intercept. It wanted Stark's body. For the final update, Superman intercepted it mid-dive, grabbing the thing's neck and flying it straight into the upper ionosphere. They burst through cloud layers, punching and grappling, faster than lightning. Then he flew higher, higher, into space. He pulled the monster into orbit and whispered, "You learned our strength." Then he dragged it into the sun, but not our sacrifice. Fire engulfed them both. Earth watched. Seconds passed. Then silence. Then a shape fell back through the clouds. Charred, bleeding light. Superman, alive, barely. The creature, gone. But deep in the sun's core, a heartbeat remained. The sun was silent. For the first time in days, the earth stopped shaking. The skies were clear. The hives crumbled. The swarm disappeared. But Superman didn't move. He floated back to Earth like a falling star, smoke trailing from his cape, skin scorched, lips cracked, heartbeat slow. He landed in the middle of a crater where the Amazon once stood, and collapsed. Iron Man arrived minutes later in an emergency suit, patched, battered, barely holding. He dropped beside him, checked vitals. Still alive. But what he couldn't see was what Superman heard. A heartbeat, still inside the sun. It wasn't a physical sound. It was an echo inside his cells. The creature wasn't dead. It had merged with the sun's energy, evolving into pure living radiation, something beyond biology, beyond time. It was becoming solar thought. Iron Man ran the scans. You burned it, but it didn't die. It ascended. Superman opened his eyes. We didn't stop it. We completed it. The sun flickered. A pulse hit Earth's atmosphere, subtle, like a sigh. Then a second one, stronger, faster. Every solar panel on Earth lit up. Every satellite overloaded. In Wakanda, backup power surged. In Gotham, night turned to day for 3 extra seconds. The heartbeat was growing, and it had a voice now, transmitted across solar wind. You shaped me. I thank you. Iron Man backed up. We created a god, and it's grateful. Superman stood. No, it's returning a favor. The ground split, not violently, but gently, like Earth was opening a door. From the fissures, new life emerged. Bioluminescent vines, golden grass, insects that glowed but didn't bite. Oxygen surged. The creature wasn't attacking. It was terraforming, rewriting Earth as a hybrid world. Part human, part alien, part something else. Iron Man looked around. It's not a weapon anymore. It's nature. Superman nodded slowly. It learned from war and chose evolution. Above, the sun flashed once more, then fell silent again. Not dead, just watching, waiting. Somewhere between God and ghost. A new age had begun, but one question remained. Tony turned to Clark. If it's still alive, and it's reshaping the planet, then what happens when someone stronger comes looking for it? Superman said nothing. He looked at the sky and listened. No heartbeat, no words, just silence. For now. But Earth had changed. Permanently. What they fought was never meant to win or lose. It was meant to test the future. And the future had passed. End of story. Built from DNA of ants, human, and alien, and now part of the sun.